do need to take a moment for Life Unexpected.
Yes.
Because that show is so fantastic.
I know.
But you and Chris both back on TV. This makes us
are.
very happy. And I have to say, I love the show.
Aw, thank you.
I'm totally sucked in after that first episode.
Yeah.
What was it about the script and then the project itself that made you feel like this is the right next move for you?
Right. Well, when I first got the call that Kevin was doing a new show on the CW, it filmed in Vancouver, where we filmed Life Unexpected. I was like, ooh, filmed in Vancouver, but Kevin's doing it, so that's interesting. And, you know, I'm such a fan of his and the work that he's done on Vampire Diaries and you know, all of his previous work. So that alone was really exciting. And obviously having such a great relationship with CW, it only seemed to be like a good fit. And then, of course, they sent me the script, and I completely fell in love with the character, and it was so different from anything else I'd ever done. And it just felt like something new and fresh and challenging that the fans could, you know, people who were fans of Life Unexpected could watch and not feel like they're watching Lux in Magic World, you know what I mean? It felt like an easy transition, but also still different and challenging, like I said. So I was excited to meet with Kevin, and then once I did, it only seemed to be like the perfect fit and match. So.
He seems to know what he's doing.
Yeah, he's done pretty well, I'd say. Yeah, Kevin has got a few tricks up his sleeve. He's working with them well.
How has it been for you going from a show that was so grounded in reality to this really fantastic
supernatural
show?
Yeah.
Where, I mean, you're now having scenes where you're having to imagine what's happening.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it like I said, I've never worked like this before. I mean, I'm having to, you know, work with a green screen and things that aren't there, and it's like, oh, but where's my person? You know what I mean? And they're like, no, we don't do people.
Right.
No, but it's really cool. It's such a fun and different world, and in this day and age, it's such a huge thing. People love supernatural, and green screen is becoming more and more popular and stuff like that. So it was a great way to introduce myself to this new thing, and I'm having a really good time learning a lot about it and hopefully pulling it off.
I am completely freaked out by Gil Harold on the show.
Oh, he's scary, right? He's so scary.
How is it for you in scenes with him? Because I would be a little terrified, I have to say.
Well, it's crazy because before seeing the pilot, I didn't realize how creepy he was. Like, there's a beginning scene where, you know, he's like doing his creepy thing, and I was like, whoa, this guy, I was scared to say hi to him the next time. I was like, you're gonna kill me, aren't you? You're totally about to kill me. But he's so good at it, but he's not like that in real life at all. He's awesome. And yeah.
Have you read any of the books, and do you know sort of the differences? There are differences between the books and this show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think with any show that's you know, adapted from a book series, there are going to be differences, but I think that, you know, they're trying to stick to a broad idea. You know, I think that they took a lot of the great elements and qualities from the books, and I think the fans will be really pleased with what they've decided to do and how they've started to, you know, differentiate the characters from the books to the series. And yeah, I mean, I think for me, I you know, I read the books obviously before we started shooting, and it helped me understand my character as far as who she is and how she relates to all these other people. But it definitely there's definitely relationships that evolve that aren't necessarily in the books, so the fans will have something to look forward to, and, you know, they won't know all the storylines. They'll have a good surprise here and there.
How much do you know at this point? Is it the sort of show that they don't tell you a whole lot?
They tell you nothing. It's crazy. It's one of those shows where you're literally like, I mean, we'll get a script like right before we start shooting, and we're like, oh my gosh, no way, this happens? And then we have to do it. It's like, well, it's a crazy, but it keeps things really fresh and exciting. So we know nothing, which is, you know, it's a blessing in disguise in some ways, because we're constantly, you know, reacting in a real way because we don't know what's happening, but also we can't tease anything, which is a bummer for you guys.
Well, it kind of makes your job easier though, right?
Yeah,
you don't have
totally.
To try to
I'm like,
play
sorry,
like, I really
don't know anything. Ask the writers, I got nothing.
I love the relationship we've seen so far on the show, or at least the guy that she's met that seems like your most strong potential as far as love interest, is a guy that you've supposedly, it's written in the stars that your two characters are supposed to be together. And there's a really fantastic scene where the two of you sort of do magic together for the first time. I hope that's not too much of a spoiler, but I just thought that was so beautifully shot.
It was so, yeah, I mean, seeing it after the fact, I was like, oh my gosh, that's what it looked like. So I love it.
So it seems to me like there's going to be a lot of romance on this show, which people might not be expecting, and not necessarily the love triangle teen drama type, but really beautifully well-crafted romance.
Totally. I think it's something that, you know, young audiences can sort of lust for in a way, but also, I mean, it's done in a very tasteful and beautiful way, like you said, and I think that there'll definitely be some sexier elements of the show that will come about, but I think they're playing with all those different types of relationships, so that'll be fun for an audience to watch, all the different sort of dynamics.
So how are you doing in Vancouver? It sounds like you were perhaps ready to move
I was like,
out.
LA! Yes! I get to live in LA!
Have you come to terms with that you're now going to be there?
Back to Vancouver, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, but it's really cool because I always said working in Vancouver or on location in general, it's like, you know, you go to there to work. You know no one else, so you literally wake up, you go to work, you're focused. It's great because that's all you have, you know, your mind on. It's not like I'm coming home to my friends and family at the end of the day. So it's great because we get to just zone in and, you know, be in it.
Have you shown the other cast members around?
I have. Like,
okay,
I've taken them to my favorite joints in Vancouver, and it's nice. I know, like, totally that, you know, it's my stepping grounds a little bit. So I'm like, I've got the upper hand, kids. Come with me.